let's talk about blood flow restriction training. Now, blood flow restriction training is a great technique because you can't always lift heavy. You know, Lawrence and I were talking earlier today. He's getting ready to go on a mass program. So he's going to probably put on like 50 pounds maybe.
Yep, we'll see.
I know. You know, you'll see it. So he definitely can. And so, but the thing is, we were talking earlier is that like when you're going super heavy, your joints hurt, right? And he's getting ready to step it up to a whole new level on his training. And your joints could take a beating when you do that, especially when they're not used to it. So blood flow restriction training is a way you can lift at lower intensities, but still recruit those fast twitch muscle fibers. And there's studies that show that like the hormone response you get with blood flow restriction can even strengthen your tendons. So what you essentially do is that you take a wrap, for example, these are wraps, and you wrap it around the limb, okay? And you typically wrap around your limb so that the pressure is about a 7 out of 10 of perceived pressure. A 10, like your arm is blue. Do not do that. You're partially restricting the limb so that basically you're restricting blood flow to the veins but not the arteries, right? You want blood to go to the muscle but not so much away so blood builds up in the muscle. And the reason why you want to do that is because you get a big pump, okay? So that's swelling, cell swelling. You get enhanced motor unit recruitment because you're not getting as much oxygen to the muscle. So you're forced to recruit the fast twitch muscle fibers because the slow twitch muscle fibers don't work as well, right? And then you build up a lot of metabolic stress, okay? So again, you're gonna wrap a 7 out of 10. It's higher rep training and it's shorter rest period lengths blood flow restriction training. And Lawrence, you've done blood flow restriction training a lot. How do you use it? Like, do you use it, what style of training do you use, repetition style?
I like to use blood flow training on reps that are 20 and higher or supersets. It's really great, especially with supersets, because that second exercise is usually a lot harder to complete. So you can go a little bit lighter on the first exercise and keep the intensity all the way through. And also with blood flow restriction, especially with like healing from injuries or something of that nature, you can't usually go as heavy as you would like and keep your joints and tendons intact. And that's something that happened to me, and that's where I'm going to use blood flow restriction right now, is to increase my size, but while keeping the intensity on my joints and tendons really, really low.
And I think that's really key too. What Lawrence is pointing out is that you're going higher repetition. Listen, if you're going to go heavy, it's not a blood flow restriction type of training style. If you're going to go heavy, go heavy. You're building muscle through tension when you're going heavy. The point of blood flow restriction is that swelling response, which forces the muscle to restructure itself. It's that motor unit recruitment because the slow twitch muscle fibers don't work so well, right? And so, and then like Lawrence said, doing supersets, giant sets, high rep training, and you're not resting as much. Like, how long do you rest between sets on blood flow restriction?
No longer than 45 seconds.
Right? So again, you're resting no more than 45 seconds, anywhere we say between 30 and 45?
30, 45, 60 max if you maybe feel like your limbs go slightly numb because you have it a little too tight, and then you just unloosen it.
Yep. So, and then one of the keys is like, if you're doing multiple sets, you're not taking it off between sets because you want to keep that swelling in the muscles. Great insight, Lawrence.